Hi, I'm Chris, and we're here for the next of our Getting to Know series of videos. So, as normal, we're here with Megan, and we're here to get to know Andrea a little bit better. So, I'm going to hand over to Meg, who's going to ask a lot of questions, and I'll probably chip in from time to time. So, Meg, over to you.
Thank you. So, our first question, as always, is just introduce yourself and what you do at Changes.
I'm Andrea and I am a volunteer liaison officer working with the Destination Home project with concrete. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to start very much due to lockdown. So at the minute, we're doing lots of one-to-one calls, checking on people's well-being and support, and also just doing lots of workshops, refresher training, just to get you sort of back in the know with things.
And when was the first time you got involved with Changes, and why did you?
It was back in 2009. I was being made redundant from a job that I'd had for 11 years. I thought I was there for life. I was just reading through the Sentinel one night, saw an advert for the OTN, and I thought, oh, I'll go along and see what that's about. Not thinking of my own sort of experiences with mental health, just more sort of family around me, in particular my mum, who'd had 3 nervous breakdowns when I was growing up and suffered really poorly with the depression. So yeah, I did the OCN and joined the OCN, did one of the workshops and ticked every single thing to do with anxiety on a sheet. And it was then that I'd realised that for the past few years, that's what I'd been actually suffering with. So yeah, I've been sort of on and off with Changes now for nearly 12 years.
Wowza, that is a long time. And what was the first segue into? Did you volunteer for Changes? What was your journey?
Yeah, so after I did the OCN, I started to become an assistant coordinator to join the OCN. Once I finished that, I became a coordinator. I was doing 2 meetings regularly every week and then dipping in wherever. I then started helping out in the office. So I was doing lots of admin work. Once I'd been there for about a year, I started doing the end of unit assessment interviews with all the newbies coming through the OCN. I then joined the PR team, became head of the PR team. So I was going out and about all over the city on fairs and festivals and sort of event days that you do with your little Changes stand, handing out them little fairy things that you stick on your dashboard and leaflets and chatting to everybody and anybody that wanted to listen about Changes and about mental health problems.
And obviously, it's been a long time since you first got involved with Changes. What's kind of kept you in mental health? Why is it important to you to work in mental health?
Yeah, because I've suffered with it for so long and got a lot better. There's been times where I've had an ambulance and been taken to A&E because of a panic attack. And this was before Changes. I had absolutely no clue what was going on with me. So thanks to Changes, I've never been in that situation again. It's really, really scary when you're in those situations, and that the amount of people that are around you that you don't actually think are suffering with some sort of mental health issue or problem or having a sort of a down period in their life, that you go back to Changes and what you learn and you're able to help them along a bit.
Yeah. And on that, what do you think is unique and special about Changes, if anything?
It's peer-led, that the majority of the people that are involved with Changes have got their own issues with mental health or their own experiences with mental health problems. Instead of, I've just learned this from a book or I've just gone to university to get this degree in this, they've actually got lived experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So staying on the mental health topic for a minute, how have you managed your own mental health throughout a global pandemic and lockdowns?
It's been chaotic because I've got 5 children and they're all at home constantly and you're never quite used to that. So yeah, it's been challenging at times, but also being able to have those little sort of me times, even if it's just an hour of an evening when the children are all in bed, just that wind down time to yourself, maybe like hot chocolate, get some chocolates on the go, packet of crisps, get the munch on, get some Netflix on and just chill out for a bit.
So 5 kids, wowza. What is the age difference there? Who's the oldest? Who's the youngest?
So the oldest has just turned 14 last week, and the youngest is 18 months old.
Wow, that must be hard work in lockdown.
Yeah, the oldest and the youngest are kind of opposite ends, but it's the three middle ones that are all 6, 6 and 7. That they're all so close in age that they do sort of pair off with each other and leave one out, and they're
Is
wobbling.
the twins then?
No, one's a stepdaughter and one's my biological daughter.
Wow, so it's like same age, like twins, but not. Okay, wowza. How's it been with like homeschooling?
Challenging, because you've got 4 different year groups in 2 different schools, and plus the baby as well. So you do have 4 different sets of homework that you can't just say, get on with it to the 3 middle ones, and you also have to check in that the teenager's doing what she should be doing. But yeah, the 3 middle ones, you do have to be one-on-one. You can't just say, here's a worksheet, here's this app, get on with it. Yeah, we do have to manage the time between me and my partner.
Are you looking forward to next Monday?
Yeah. 8:30 Monday morning, I'm going to be at the gate.
Literally, like, please take them, have them. Wowza, that's amazing. Okay, so a bit more onto you and what you enjoy to do. Have you got any hobbies or interests that are nothing to do with mental health?
One kind of is, and that's yoga.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of mindfulness stuff that we do in changes as well. But it also helps me with core muscles because I do suffer with a very bad back. So my physiotherapist recommended yoga, and I felt that really useful as well. Aside from yoga, I am a Christian, so I do go to church. I find that really helpful, especially during lockdown, that a quick time of prayer or a quick time to just Bible reading out. Also being able to sort of chat with people from church and being able to have all these Zoom meetings and little WhatsApp groups and messenger groups on the side that you can just check in with people. And if you've got any struggles or issues, you can ask for prayer requests off them. And yeah, it's been really good to have been able to connect with people in that way still.
So your faith seems like quite a big part of your life. Is that something that was the same growing up, or is it something you found?
Pretty much growing up, we were always in and out of church because my mum went to Church of England church, so we were kind of brought up as a Christian way. But it wasn't until I was about 14 that I went to a youth club in my church, and a friend started saying, why don't you come Sundays and join the youth fellowship? And we went on a few holidays, and it was while we were on holiday at Spring Harvest that is in Butlins in Skegness. So it's a massive Christian festival. That I actually became a Christian and gave my life to Christ and said that prayer that we all say. And then, I became more and more involved then. Of course, throughout the years, there's been times where I've sort of gone down a different track and gone away from the church, but I've always been pulled back. So now at the minute, I am sort of back in the fold.
And how does your life differ when you are you do pull away and then you go back? How does that change your life in any way, if any?
When you're pulling away, you do sort of seem more chaotic. When you're both focused on your faith and you're doing your prayer time and you're setting aside that time, you do sort of relax a bit more and you become a bit more patient, a bit more like, well, it's not going to happen now, but I'm leaving it in God's hands, or I can call on somebody in the church to help me with this situation. Especially last year, the finances in this house were just crazy. And even though you were getting help from government and schools, that you could just say, listen, I need help from friends in the church, and they were there to help us, because without that help, I couldn't have afforded to put food on the children's tables, because it's unreal that you've got the children all the time, you've had the children for all these amount of years, but you've never been in a lockdown with them where you've had them at home 24/7 and are having to provide for them. So even though like normal day to day, you'd be able to do that no problem, being in this lockdown situation has been a huge issue.
Yeah, no, I could imagine. So what do you think the hardest part about the lockdowns has been?
It's kind of the no routine, that even though when we do have the routine, it is a struggle, like getting them all to school on time in the morning because somebody inevitably can't find the shoes on the way to the door, or somebody needs the hair doing, or somebody's having a tantrum because they don't want to wear that dress today and they don't want to wear the same dress as she's wearing, and whatever. Somebody won't get out of bed, whatever. That it does bring sort of a calmness to it when it's all done and all that structure's all in place. It is nice to just know that this is what I'm doing at this time. So during lockdown, when you haven't had that, it can bring sort of, a chaoticness about it all that's a bit sort of unnerving, that you don't know always what day it is, let alone what time of day it is. And the kids might be getting up at 11 o'clock instead of at 7 or 8 o'clock. And everything's a bit sort of all over the place and unreal because you haven't got that connection to the outside world, but people's lives are still going on. So you're still in contact with friends and they've still got things going on, and you can't actually get together to help them in the way that you normally would. So it sort of puts a huge amount of guilt on yourself, that you start thinking, I can't actually be there for that person, but equally they can't be there for you. So even though I have said to a couple of friends, like, I'm really sorry that I can't be there for you, they have completely understood because they are all kind of in the same situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And apart from the obvious of getting some routine back, what are you looking forward to most about life going back to some form of normality?
No homeschooling. In the truth, yeah. Not
No
having
homeschooling. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. Do you read or listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I read. I've got lots of books in my house. I think there's about 6 different bookcases full of books.
Wow.
I think we've all got Kindles as well knocking about.
And what sort of stuff do you like to read?
I'm a bit sort of girly. I'm a bit sort of the same with my movies. I don't like anything too dark because life's a bit sort of, anyway. That I'm like a bit sort of chick flicky, romantic comedy sort of thing. I also like some fantasy stuff. Anything that sort of takes you away from humdrum of life.
Yeah. And what is your favourite film then? Your favourite chick flick?
Pretty Woman.
Yes. So good. Yeah, absolutely love that. Is there anything really good you've watched in lockdown, like a series or a film?
Yeah, there's been quite a few. I loved Bridgerton.
Oh,
That was amazing.
so good.
But now I'm like, come on, series 2.
Yeah, I want series 2 yesterday. Not tomorrow, I want it yesterday. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so you do like the escapism kind of stuff then?
Yeah.
And did you say you listen to podcasts?
Not podcasts now, but I do like music.
Tell us about your music taste.
I'm a bit of a rock chick. My favourite's Metallica. Doesn't kind of go with my image, but yeah, deep down I'm a little leather-cladded rock chick. It's a bit hippie.
So chick flicks and Metallica. Okay, that's a combo. So why do you like rock music? Do you think that's like because I find it dead angry and really like invasive. I'm like, gosh, stop shouting at me.
I don't know. I think I went from being a bit of a raver in my mid-teens to finding Metallica and going to college, and I became a bit sort of gothy hippie all while I was at sixth form. And then when I got married when I was 23 to my ex-husband, we were bikers, so we led a whole biker lifestyle. So it was very rock and metal.
That's pretty cool. I would pay to see some pictures. That's amazing.
So when we come out of lockdown, is there anywhere you'd like to go? Have you got a favourite place to be?
The beach.
Any beach in particular, or just?
We want to go to North Wales, really. The last beach we went to, though, was Southport in August when lockdown was kind of relaxed a bit. And ever since then, the children have always been asking quite regularly about when they could go to the beach again.
Oh.
So we're hoping for better weather, being able to get out.
Yeah.
There is something lovely about the beach, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's so calming. There is. If Hollywood made a movie about your life, what would it be called?
I don't know, it'd have to have something about tallness. So anybody that knows me is like, oh, the tall one.
How tall are you?
6'1".
That is tall. Wowzer. Wowzer. And do you always have partners taller or not?
Not always, no. I've been out with a couple of shorter ones. My partner at the minute is almost exactly the same height as me. There's about a centimetre or two in between us.
Wowzer. Yeah, that is tall. Yeah, that is tall. Amazing. I'd love to have a bit more height. I'm so short. How tall are you, Chris?
5'7".
Yeah, that's quite tall, isn't it?
No.
No. No. Right. Andrea, how would your friends describe you?
Quiet. Outgoing at the same time. Good listener. Non-judgmental. Pretty intelligent.
I love that. That's such a lovely description. So, pretty intelligent. I like that description. What is it you are interested in apart from kind of the mental health? Have you got any interesting things? I don't know what I mean. What do I mean? Like how Chris knows everything about history and everything about everything, really. Do you have any kind of interests?
I do like general knowledge. I like a good pub quiz. I've been to a few of them in my time. I'm always the one that knows sort of random facts.
Yeah.
Song lyrics. Get me on song lyrics and I'm there.
What is that show called where you have to finish the lyric? Is it called Finish the Lyric?
One that's on BBC One.
Yeah, I think it is.
About, yeah.
So you would literally just boss that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teenage years growing up with Smash Hits magazine, and they had to pull out of song lyrics. I was there, and so that was way before Google, like lyric searches.
I remember what I did, and I think we definitely had internet when I was younger. Not younger though. In the front of the CD, you pulled the lyrics from the front of the CD. Yeah. Oh god, that makes me feel old, and I'm not. If you had 6 months left on this earth with no obligations, no financial constraints, what would you do with your 6 months?
I'd have to travel.
Where would you like to see?
Well, I'd take the kids to some places like I've been. So I've been to Florida. So I'd take all the kids to Florida. They're always talking about going to some sort of Disney.
Oh.
But I'd love to go like somewhere like Thailand or the Caribbean. Hawaii is like a dream destination as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think travel would be the main thing.
I think that's what everyone said to that question. They would travel and see the world, which is really interesting. But yeah, Hawaii does seem like a bit of a dream destination, doesn't it? And everybody needs to see Disneyland at one time, I think. If you could compare yourself to any animal, what would it be and why?
I think a tiger. Because although I'm a bit sort of elusive, I'm a bit secretive, and yeah, on the wrong side of me or go and annoy my kids, so I'm like, ugh.
Fierce. Yeah. I like that one. I really like that one. What is one thing you would like to improve on?
Probably my organisation.
Okay. Are you not very organised?
No. Everybody that like looks at my sort of filing system around me is like, what's that mess over in that corner? Listen, if you ask me, like, go and get that form, I know exactly in that mess where it is. Don't mess with my mess.
It's organised chaos.
Yeah.
I like that. I really like that. What is one piece of advice, life advice, that you wish you knew sooner?
Try harder. Don't think you've got forever. You haven't. I wish I'd have tried harder when I was back in college instead of dotting the way through the college years in the social area as I did. I'm surprised me and Chris didn't bump into each other a lot more at sixth form.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, weren't you? You were at the top, you were with the scary people at the top. So yeah, I stayed away from there. I was down the bottom end. Yeah.
With the scary people at the top.
I was with the goths and the rockers and the hippie people, you know. Always a bit sort of stay away from them.
Oh, that's interesting insight. Did you enjoy school and college then?
I hated school.
Mm-hmm.
Really hated it because I was picked on all the way through it because I was so tall and had acne and had glasses and had braces. And I wasn't ever the cleverest. I was sort of nearly there. So because I wasn't quite there, and then I wasn't sort of athletic enough or anything like that. So I was never quite enough. And I'd gone from being in a primary school where I knew everybody to going to a high school where there was only one other girl from my primary school that went, and it was kind of out of my area and it was a more prestigious school. So a lot of the kids that went there were from better backgrounds and did a lot more. Yeah, so I really hated school. I couldn't wait to get out of there.
And if you could tell yourself something now, you could speak to high school you, what would you say?
Don't worry about what other people think of you. Concentrate on you. I spent too much time in high school trying to be a sheep, and now I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm a little bit weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. What is your kind of best coping tool, your wellness tool for life, the one you turn to if you're struggling?
Music. Bit of chill out time, bit of music. It's not always rock. Sometimes it is sort of Hillsong, which is Christian. I've also got a friend that writes his own sort of calming relaxation music. I like putting that on, do a bit of sort of yoga or chill out time on my own.
And how long have you been doing yoga?
Oh, nearly 4 years now.
Wow. And what benefits have you seen from that?
So my back's got a lot better. I don't suffer with it as much now because I've been periods where I've been for weeks laying in a bed, not really moving much.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's improved that lots. I think with being so tall, it doesn't help that you're kind of always sort of scooped over a bit, and yeah, it helps with your posture.
Yeah, wowza. And have you seen any benefits for your mental health from doing yoga?
Yeah, because it does take you out of it, and when you return back to sort of normality, you do feel a bit of inner calm, inner peace, and all tranquil.
Yeah, I love yoga too. We need to get you on the yoga, Chris.
So I've started mindfulness. I've done my first session.
And you've got something to share about it, haven't you, Chris?
Well, I can't get through the first 20-25-minute practice without falling asleep. That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get to the end of it without falling asleep.
You'll get there.
I fell asleep when we did the live session. Thank God it was over Zoom.
You'll get there for sure. And who doesn't love a little nap anyway? Do you have any pets?
Yeah, we have 2 gerbils.
And what are the gerbils called?
Melody and Shortcake.
Oh, Melody and Shortcake. I absolutely love that. Melody and Shortcake. And have you had any other pets apart from gerbils before?
Yeah, we did have a cat before, Emily, but I've usually had dogs. So the last dog I had though was before my eldest was born, and he was a Shar-Pei called Henry, and he was the best dog in the world.
They're the ones that look like they need ironing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you're an animal person.
In the city dog zone.
Oh, so he was a rescue dog.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I love that. What was he called?
Henry.
Henry the Shar-Pei. Oh, I love that. So you're quite an animal person then?
Yeah, that's what we're missing. We tend to go a lot to like local sort of wildlifey places and not being able to do that. So it's been good to get involved on like GoFundMe pages that they're running, or if you've got Amazon wish lists, so like we're giving back and we're still helping them to keep going a bit, even though we aren't actually been able to visit.
And where do you normally visit? Where do you like going?
One we go most is Gentle Shores,
Where's
at
that?
Fletcher's Garden, the other side of Eccleshaw.
Oh wow! And what is it then?
It's just a little wildlife sanctuary where they do have like lots of different animals. They've got a wolf dog. It's called Saxon, who's massive. They've got some monkeys and things, and they do rescue lots of animals. They've got some birds, and they do a little bird of prey show thing. They have a little train as well that runs around it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I bet the kids love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that does sound
Take them
amazing.
lots, like usually, so as we haven't been able to go.
Oh, I bet they're missing that, aren't they?
Yeah.
What have they found hardest about the lockdown?
Most of them are seeing friends, especially the oldest one, because she's a teenager and she has got a best friend that lives in the street, so even not being able to go and see her so much. So she has
Yeah.
had a couple of socially distanced meetups sort of in the back alleyway sort of thing. They'll get a camp chair up and sit
Oh,
talk to each other.
yeah, it has been dead tough for young people. It's been tough for everybody, but different reasons for different ages. Yeah. Okay, so our last question. If someone who is struggling with their mental health is watching this now, what would you like to say to them?
You're not alone. Don't be afraid to talk, help somebody, ask for help. Don't think you aren't worth it. A lot of people I seem to talk to recently have said, I was too scared to say anything, or I didn't think it'd be worth it. But yeah, you're always worth it. Always get help, and there is always help available, whether it's through changes or wherever. But talking definitely helps.
Yeah, lovely. Over to you, Chris.
Anyway, thank you, Megan. Anyway, thank you, Andrea. And we'll speak to everybody soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
See you later.